Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Jim News Show. We got a couple quick updates for you. Number one, there's some publications going around that Hillary Clinton was arrested. And also we got some video of the smoke coming out of the subway tunnels, what have you, in Washington, D.C. We're first going to go back and take a look at that conversation between David Rodriguez and Charlie Ward, where they kind of hinted at the arrests had already been made. Let's take a look at that.
Under control.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I'm just excited to get this new world going, get these scumbags, flush them down the toilet. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to see arrests. But I think the arrests are happening covertly, and I believe that they have certain people under duress. And I think, but people want to see the big game, the big show. Hillary, all of them getting body slam taken down. Do you think we're going to see that, Charlie, or do you think that's all going to happen covertly?
You and I know that she was taken down. They chopped her legs off because when we saw her the other day, she was about that big.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
okay, so remember when Charlie Ward said a few days ago that we know that Hillary's been arrested because they chopped her legs off, made her that big. So let's go and take a look at those pictures again. Come on. Okay, so remember the pictures from the inauguration. We had Hillary Clinton seem to be at least 6 inches shorter than the old Hillary Clinton. And here's a side-by-side where her head comes up to Bill's bottom of his chin. This was the inauguration, the 2021 inauguration. A lot of people think that was done with a green screen and smoke and mirrors, etc., because Washington, D.C. was surrounded by military. So there's a picture of the inauguration. Now compare that. Some people were commenting on if she was wearing flats or not. So we can see right here, actually, if you look down here, this thing's kind of hard to work. See that? She's got at least, what, I don't know, 2-3 inch heels on, wearing the purple outfit. And remember, she's with 2 or 3 inch heels, she's coming up to about the Bill Clinton chin. Her top of her head's about where the bottom of Bill Clinton's chin is. Compare that with the old pictures that we see of Hillary Clinton and Bill, where, she's not wearing anything higher heel wise in these pictures. And the top of her head comes up to about, where his eyeballs are. There's a picture. There's another one. So very interesting. And check this out. I mean, if you zoom in on her head, her face doesn't really look like, or the top of her face, it's real convenient. They're wearing masks these days, so it's kind of hard to see who's who. Doesn't really look like Hillary to me. So what's going on with that? Again, remember, with the heels, she's coming up through the bottom of his chin. That just doesn't make any sense. Now, also, check this out. So now there's a article posted on March 4th of this year, of course. Navy SEALs arrest Hillary Clinton. You can find that article on beforeitsnews.com. You can also just put that in your search engine, see what other information you can find. It's pretty in-depth article of how it went down. So that's interesting. Now, for a lot of you that have been following the Q+1, or I'm sorry, the 16+1, which means Q stuff, you'll remember that the first post, one of the first posts, if not the first post, said that HRC was getting arrested. Now, that's interesting. Because remember when we had the video of Hillary fainting? This is what a lot of people thought was her getting arrested 4 years ago.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton stumbling as she left the 9/11 commemoration in New York City this morning. A statement from Clinton's campaign says she felt overheated and she went to her daughter's apartment.
Now watch how she's kind of, it almost looks like someone has her arm, someone's holding her arm in the back. You got these guys looking out, kind of, everyone's kind of watching, right? The perimeter. And then you have Hillary. Now even CNN says it is Hillary. They're going to tell you she fainted, but a lot of people think this is actually when she did get arrested.
To get her bearings. Let's watch this video for a second. There you see her apparently.
So look at that. No one looks like they're jumping in to help her. In fact, it looks like she almost has a heart attack when they open the doors of the van. I feel like she saw something she wasn't expecting. She maybe didn't know exactly what was going on, but she faints right there. Let's watch it one more time.
Statement from Clinton's campaign says she felt overheated and she went to her daughter's apartment to get her bearings. Let's watch this video for a second. There you see her apparently almost falling, but captured, caught by.
These other people are, look at them. There's one here. There's another person here. There's a police kind of guard here. They're guarding this. You know, this isn't a typical walk an ex former first lady to a black van type of deal. So now you can look up that video yourself on YouTube. It says video shows Hillary Clinton leaving 9/11 early event. So, you know, what's going on? There's a lot of things. Now we're going to take you to Washington, D.C. A little bit of action there. Okay, here's a video right here titled White House Snipers Return as Smoke Still Billows Out of Lawn. So the smoke has been coming out of the tunnels underground for like weeks in Washington, D.C. No one's covering it. Well, the Mockingbird News isn't covering it. Let's take a little bit look at this home video caught.
Well, folks, apparently if it has anything to do with the White House, the freaks in the CIA block it and they start screwing with your phone. I'm telling you, we need to defund these freaks. Welcome to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you for coming. You are the salt of the earth. Pray for 45 safety. And this is a really good time to start buying from Noble Gold because we don't have a government. There's nobody in the White House. There's nobody in the halls of Congress. What you're looking at is last night, a lot of activity at the White House. Jane, that's the smoke in front of the White House. Yeah, this is tonight, sunset. So what did she say about snipers? And
okay, she said that the smoke is still in the front of the.
Okay, we'll come back to that. So we'll come back to that video, but you can see it on beforeitsnews.com. It's right there. Before we go back to that, I want to take us over to that conversation that we highlighted earlier in the week between Gene Dickode and former team Navy SEAL Team 6 member Michael Jacko, and what they were talking about Washington, D.C. after the Patriot Convention in Las Vegas. Remember that? Well, here it is in case you don't. Let me just blow it up real quick.
They have the Marines that go down there and special forces. They have to get counseling after this. It was so bad. The amount of body bags of just parts, body parts and things with roaches and rats and just the only thing is they can do is just burn it up after they cleaned that all out. Now with what they could is just burn it, do the dustification stuff, go in there, blow it up. There was explosions last night where they're blowing stuff up. And I really think they should.
Even Candace Owens posted she heard a big explosion in D.C. last night and it shook her house.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
Yeah, they're blowing it up, and I really think that what DC needs to be a foreign country. We can just take that over when it's done and cleaned up, take everything down and flood it from the Potomac and turn it back into a bird refuge for water birds like it was before Europeans came over here.
Okay, folks, this is wild. Like I said, you got former Navy SEAL, and then you got Gene Decode, who's intelligence professional career. He's high up on the military intelligence information. But anyway, he's saying, the Marines are going into the dumps under Washington, D.C. Now we're seeing smoke rise from the street. Finally, some footage from a cell phone from a normal everyday person, trying to get the truth out. So let's take a look at that one more time. The smoke coming from Washington, D.C.
What did she say about snipers? And
Okay, she said that the smoke is still in the front of the house, and actually there's smoke in about 4 different places.
and it's coming out even more.
And she said that there are snipers on top of the White House, which were not there before. They're putting the Constantine wire.
Okay, that's all she shows on that one. So
They're
we
putting the
Okay. We'll take you back there too in a second. One other question or one other conversation just dawned upon me to share again. I just remembered we haven't shared yet the conversation between former Navy SEAL Michael Jocko, who you just saw, and the elusive, very respected, seems to be connected to the highest of the military intelligence, Juan O Savin, who a lot of people actually think that might be JFK Jr. So let's take you to that conversation. We'll do a bigger episode on that conversation in the future, but for now, check out this. Juan O Savin is going to be reading from his book, The Kid by the Side of the Road, which, funny enough, has a picture of JFK in the center. And we all remember the famous JFK Jr. picture when he's a kid by the side of the road saluting his fallen father. So let's check this out. Juan O Savin is obviously on the right. He's doing the reading from his book, Kid on the Side of the Road.
President Trump should hire all his contractor buddies and have them get together as much fencing materials and heavy equipment as they can possibly muster. Then bring it all to DC under the protection of U.S. Marine Corps guards utilizing close-in air support. They should proceed to surround DC with multiple layers of chain link fence and concertina wire, like we did at the city of Fallujah in Iraq. Simultaneously, we need to have all available military and armored National Guard units surround the city at the Beltway. That's kind of like what happened back coming up in the inauguration, right? Did you see all that? The way they had the city surround everything. I dropped down a couple paragraphs. President Trump should also request that all patriot citizens show up for this national effort with all the toilet bowl cleaner they can lay their hands on. After which they'll provide that to the military guard units so that the cleaner can be dispersed into that soupy DC cauldron ASAP. God in his heaven knows it's going to take several flushes and plenty of Drano to clear those filthy pipes. Wow. All the while, the citizen soldiers will be keeping a sharp eye out for any of the blue-dyed toilet water and swamp creatures that might be attempting an escape through tunnels coming out at strange places, some even hundreds of miles away. By now, many of you know about the underground tunnels, including the DUMBs, deep underground military bases. So we are not dropping our guard.
Okay. Wow. There you go. Again, Juan O Savin, we'll talk more about him in the future. He's like at the top of the military intelligence. He's basically reiterating what Gene Decode said, tunnels under Washington, D.C. needs to be cleaned out, blown up. And now we have our first, what I consider to be authentic citizen journalist video of inside of Washington, D.C., which not even the Mockingbird News can show you that, because, well, then it would be against their agenda. So let's finish up one more time with seeing a little bit more from that smoke coming out from underneath Washington, D.C.
And go ahead.
And she said there's a lot of police and Secret Service activity inside the by the Blair House and by the tents that they have on the inside.
Here's
now,
the White House. Now you can see.
You can see over here, over there to the left, behind that kind of a square.
You can see the sniper.
Yeah, and there's one on the other side
over
too.
Here.
She's going to zero in so you can see him.
You can see him hiding.
Yeah. But they're up there because I saw them.
So the inner it looks like the inner chandeliers are on. We don't want to show her name. We're very careful. So we're going to go out to a different video now.
Okay, folks, there you go. You can see more of that video at beforeitsnews.com. You can also check out those other conversations between Michael Jocko and Gene Decode and Juan O Savin, David Rodriguez, Charlie Ward. It's all there. So it's important that if you care about what's going on, to look at all information presented. Don't just depend on the Mockingbird News. We thank you for tuning in here at the Jim News Show. God bless you and be safe and have a great weekend.